We're gonna discuss exclusion areas and best practices around them. So we're gonna start with an empty plan, and our intent is to create an exclusion area around this tree and then have a work area close to it. So first we edit the plan, we drag the map. I'm doing this on a computer. On a phone you'll have to touch instead of clicking. To start an exclusion area, I click on the map somewhere that there is not an existing exclusion area or a waypoint or a work area. I select draw exclusion area. It puts down the starting point, and we need to create closed polygons. So they create essentially a shape around the object we want to enclose. So I'm gonna draw a shape by having these line segments where I touch or click around it. If you do not know, or your satellite map is out of date, drive the LCR around the object and use its path, the yellow trace, to create the exclusion zone. You have to click on the original point that you created in order to enclose the shape, and then have this dialog show up, and then you complete. Now that you have the exclusion zone, you have to select it once by touching or clicking, and then you can move it by clicking and dragging. You want to leave about 10 feet between the boundary of the object and your work areas or waypoints. Sometimes it's hard to judge, so always look what your LCR does the first time you create a work area. So a best practice is to not put exclusion zones in the middle of our work area. So for example, if I put a work area here and I do this is bad practice. The LCR will not be able to complete its task. It will just keep waving around and avoiding this, and it will just do a really bad spiral. Instead, create a polygon that wraps around the object, at least on some of the sides. It's okay to have multiple work areas. So here's an example of a polygon that at least on 2 of these sides, and notice that I want to leave a little gap and a boundary so the LCR doesn't overreact to the exclusion zone. So here's one work area. I can add another one. Don't try to do everything with a single work area if it's hard to do. So here I'm just going to create a very long, skinny work area. Like that. Now you want to tell the LCR, and all work areas must be connected to each other, how to get there safely. So touch in the center of a work area, select connect, and choose a path that avoids other obstacles and gives us a nice way to get to this work area. Now I'm going to create another exclusion zone around this fence. So again, I touch somewhere on the map, say draw exclusion area. I want it to have some thickness, so it's a substantial obstacle. And in this case, my exclusion zone is just a rectangular bar. Then I want to freeze the plan, and I can tell the LCR to start working. This is all in a simulator, so we can demonstrate safely.